So I started. So what we'll do is, today we will discuss the concept of synonyms. So what is the definition of synonyms? So basically, by definition, SQL synonyms are alternate names for a DB object, database object, right? So residing in a particular schema, right? So residing in a particular schema in S4, basically S4 or SAP HANA, both are one and the same, right? So in S4 HANA. So basically in simple words, synonyms are an alias of database objects, right? So suppose we have one table, so we can create a synonym, an alias name for it, right? And we can create it as a synonym, and we can use that table. Like suppose, for example, there is one base table, for example, there is one table, but we don't want to make changes to the table. For example, let us discuss here.
You haven't shared the DB details, I think.
Oh, the server details.
Yeah.
I think I am forgetting daily. Yeah. Okay, let me do it right away. Actually, yesterday I thought to share it, and I did not do it. Do I have your mail ID?
Yeah. Stingson Chandy.
This one,
Yeah,
right?
Stingson. Yeah. This is an Accenture laptop, right? So you can access inbox, Gmail and all.
Yeah. Accenture, TCS, we cannot open anything, but all other companies we can open everything. Only TCS have that limitations.
Yeah. Most of the things it is restricted.
Yeah. My husband works in TCS only, so yeah, they cannot open anything in their laptops. So, for example, we have created one table, right? So, okay, this is our schema. So in our schema, we have one table.
I think you have to close it and open it.
Okay. Yes. Getting stuck. Okay, let me connect again. So you have to give that server details here, and then it will ask for you. First time it will ask for the username and password. So HANA 17 is the username, and password we have to provide, and you have to select the connect button. So h@12 is the password, and select OK. So here in our this is our schema, and in our schema we have this table called products 20, right? So this is the products 20 table. So what so the requirement is like they want to do some additional changes or add some additional columns or whatever it is, right? So they wanted to do some changes, but they want to keep the original table as it is. So just to create a replica of this table along with the data. So when we create a replica, another table will be created. It is called a synonym basically, right? So it is called a synonym, but concept is the same as table. So a synonym is created. That means it's just an alias for this table. Alias name for this table is created along with the data, right? So that is the advantage. So whatever you can do, your new changes and all your experiments you can do on your synonym, but your original table it will not be affected. It will remain as it is, right?
Both have the same name.
Different names. Synonym will
Different
have
name.
different name, and this will have a different name, but content
So
will be
why
the same.
don't
Content
so
will
why
be the
don't
same.
we so why don't we copy the table and paste with a different name in the table itself, no?
See, we can do that. See, all of these are just different options, right? So for one solution, there will be many ways of doing it, right? So one thing is like we can just copy this table into another table and we can do that, right? So that is one option. Another option is you can create a synonym for this table and you can work with that table. So all of these are different options. Like for example, for one solution, for one problem, there will be many solutions, right? So all of these are different options we have. So yes, we can copy this table into another table and we can work on that table and make whatever changes we want. That is one way. Or you can create a synonym and you can work on your synonym, and so this will not get affected. So all of these are basically different, and to be honest, we will not use synonyms that much in practical purpose when we are working in the projects. So but because just the concept is there, we are discussing, but in practical purpose we don't use synonyms that much in the actual projects when we are working.
Okay.
Right. So let us see how to create a synonym. So let's go to our let's open our SQL console, select our HDB HANA database and select the Open SQL console, right? So we can create a synonym with a simple SQL statement. So create synonym, and you can give some name for your synonym, right? So you can give some name. So I'm giving some name. So, and which table we are referring, that table we have to mention, right? So for, and you can directly drag and drop the table name here. So that means we are referring, this synonym is referring to, in this particular schema, it is referring to this particular table, right? So try to execute. So a synonym is created, but I have logged in as, um, um, I have logged in as best. Why? Because they have given the initial username as best. That's why whenever we create a synonym, it will be created under the schema best. So we can go and check it under the best schema, right? And if you open your synonym,
I didn't understand that concept. I didn't understand the concept that best thing that if we run that, it will be.
See what these training people will do. I don't know why they do that, but generally they will give the main username as best, right? So under this best, there will be so they will have some sub-user name or something, right? So sub-user name, the sub-user name they have given us is HANA 17, right? If you open our details here, see, username is HANA 17. But for this user, the hierarchy user is best. I don't know why they do that, but in the training systems, it happens like that. So whenever we create these synonyms or triggers or stored procedures, they will be stored under that main username best. So even though here this is the like this is the login for our HANA Studio, login username for HANA Studio, and this is the password for HANA Studio, right? But main username is best. So that's way they will be created under the best schema only. When you, especially when you create these synonyms, procedures, and sequences.
So how about we give our schema name and the synonym name, like a create synonym?
Yeah, see, this is we have given our schema name. Stinson.
Before Stinson syno
Uh,
before that. So if we do like that, it will go to our schema.
where you want
Like
me to
it,
go?
create synonym
Uh,
Stinson daughter Stinson syno, like the format of
okay.
the table.
Okay, here also if we add, it will save there. Let's check.
Give the double quotes and all.
Okay. Okay, let's check. Okay, so now let's go to our our schema and check. I don't know why they give so much small buttons here. I want to refresh it, but let me check. Okay, so it got created, right? So, so now this one, our STING SYNO. So you can open the content and you can find all the data that you have, right? And now suppose if you want to make some changes or if you want to add some new columns or whatever it is, you can do this. So this is just one concept. Conceptually, they have this concept, right? Like for example, in ABAP also, so many concepts will be there. But in practical purpose, we won't be applying all those in our projects, right? So similarly here also, so basically it is just, it will just create an alias name for our DB object. So basically it will, it's like a copy. It will create a copy of our DB object with another alias name. Right? So this is the concept of synonym. And to be honest, in the projects, I have not seen them using synonyms while working. So it is just a concept. That's it. Right? Yeah. Any questions still here?
No. Good.
So now let us discuss the concept of triggers. So when we want to discuss about triggers, have you heard this kind of requirement? like whenever they make any change. So basically, by definition, triggers are basically main purpose of triggers is to automate execution is to automate execution of code when an event occurs. And that event generally is nothing but some update. It can be, you know, some add, modify, this kind of events, right? So let's say, for example, the requirement is, so whenever some event is happening, some code have to trigger, some code will trigger, right? So that is the concept of triggers. So let's say, for example, the requirement is they have some order number and quantity, right? So they have some order and quantity. Two fields are there in one table. And whenever they change the order, right? So whenever they change the order, its quantity will be changed. So for example, there is an order, sales order, 10 is the sales order, and its quantity is 1000, right? So again, they want, let's say, for example, again, the next day, the customer comes and they want to change that sales order. Then they want to change the sales order 10, and they want to make the quantity as 3000, let's say. Then what happens? This 1000 will be replaced by 3000, right? Why? Because first they have ordered for 1000 quantity, but again they come back and they say, no, we want to order for 3000 quantity. So then what happens? This 1000 quantity will be replaced by 3000. But there has to be some proof, right? So maybe after a month, then the customer may come back and say, no, I have only ordered for 1000. Why my order is now 3000? Why is it changed? So that kind of so that means there is an initial order, and then that, or they have changed that order, right? So that means some change has been done. So in this type of cases, what they will do, they will maintain another table called history, right? Some history table they will maintain. So in this table, everything will get recorded. Whenever
Sorry, once more. Okay, so for one quantity is 1000. So another man comes and says for 10, it will be 3000.
see, suppose you know, for example, you want to buy some 1000 pieces of some board, nut and bolt, let's say, right? So you go to the shop and you give an order. Your order number is 10. Your sales order number is 10, and you give order for 1000 quantity of nuts. But you suppose, for example, you are constructing a house, right? So, and your contractor says they need 1000 quantity of nuts. So you go to the shop and you place an order. Okay, I want to order some 1000 nuts, screws and nuts, for example. Then immediately the next day your contractor says, no sir, we want to have 3000, not 1000. We give wrong estimation. So again, what you will do, you go to the shop and again you say that, no, yesterday I have ordered for 1000, but today I want to change my order and I want to change that order to 3000 nuts and bolts. Then the shop people will say, okay. But then you will go again after 10 days and you will say, no, I have ordered only for 1000. How come you are giving me 3000, for example? So everything, all these changes have to be recorded somewhere. So they will record all these changes. So first you have placed order for your order number is 10 and you have placed order for 1000 nuts.
Okay.
Again, you went back and you, for the same order, you changed your order. So now you said instead of 1000, you want 3000, right? Again, after 2 weeks, again, you will go and you will place another order. You will place another order for 60, some other material, right? So all these changes have to be recorded somewhere with the date and time stamp. So if they are not recorded, there is no proof for the shop people. Suppose if you go and say like, no, I have ordered only for 1000. How come you are giving me 3000 and charging me for 3000? You can say that. So they have to maintain some kind of log. So whenever they change something here, that change has to be captured into another table with the timestamp, date and time. So when you, even if you go and say like, no, I have ordered for only 1000, then immediately they can show this log for you. No, sir, you initially you have placed an order for 1000 on this day, on this time. Again, you came back and you have placed order for 3000 on this day, on this time. Again, after 1 month, you came and you placed another order for another material. So this is the date and time stamp. So like that, for they have to maintain some log, right? Have you heard this kind of requirement?
Yeah, we have that requirement
So
for some billing and cost. So we are using like a history and a current.
Correct. So for that kind of scenarios, we can create these triggers, right? So whenever some update happens here, that has to be triggered and it will trigger an event and it will be recorded into another table, right? So basically this is the background purpose of triggers. So let's see how we can create the triggers. So we will create two tables first. So create column table, and I will name our table as actual. Our table, first table name is actual. And here we are going to have some two columns. So two columns we would like to have some order. It is of type integer, and quantity. It is also of type integer. So we are having two fields in our table and semicolon, right? So I would like to create one more table. I will copy this and I will try to create another table, but this is my history. I will name this as history. This is my history table, right? And in my history table also, I am having order, quantity, and I would like to have one more field. I think there is some keyword called history. That's why I will change the name here. I will take it as history 20. So some history, some keyword is there. That's why it is showing in red color. So I have changed the name. So this is my actual table and this is my 20 is my history table name. And here I would like to have one more field called changed on, because we want to capture the changes, right? We want to capture the log. So changed on, and we can give the timestamp, right? So these are my fields in the second table. So now let's try to create the trigger. So whenever you want to create a comment, you can give these lines like this, right? So create trigger. So let's try to create our trigger. So create trigger. You can give some name. So I'm naming it as STIG trigger, right? So this is the name of our trigger. And when this trigger should happen, after insert on our table actual. So that means whenever there is some change happens in our actual table, we want this trigger to trigger has to be triggered, right? And then referencing so referencing new row, referencing REFERENCING, yeah. So referencing new row as my new row, referencing new row as my new row. So it has to so we are trying to create trigger on this particular table, actual table. So that means whenever after insert on actual, that means whenever there is any change in the actual table, so we want to, this trigger has to execute, right? So referencing new row as my new row, and then begin. So insert into hist 20. So whenever there is some change happens in this table, we want that to be inserted into this table with the new timestamp, right? So insert into hist 20 and values. So values will be my new row dot order, ORD, right? And my new row quantity. QTY. My new row as quantity. And then do you know the function of now?
Now gives the current time.
So now gives the current time and date, right? So system date and system time basically. And end. So we are ending. So basically the meaning of this trigger is we are trying to create trigger, and this is our trigger name. And after insert on actual, that means whenever any change happens in this table actual, referencing new row as my new row, right? And begin, we are what we want to do. So this is what we want to this is what will be executed in the trigger. Execution statement is insert into his 20. So in this table, it is going to put these values, my new row dot ord, my new row, right? So my new row dot qty quantity, and then now. So so this is what we want to do in the this is the basically the definition of our trigger, right? So now after creating the trigger, we'll try to insert. So insert into actual, values. Let us insert some values, some 10, 100 we are inserting some values. So that means whenever some insert happens, right? So whenever some insert happens in this table, so they have to be recorded in this table along with the timestamp, right? So we will, right? So whatever part you want, whatever lines you want, you can execute only that lines, right?
Yeah.
So I think you already know that. So what happened? So we have two tables are created, right? And then we have created our trigger, and then we try to insert value into the table, actual table. So now let's go and check our tables.
I think the actual has been created in the best.
In the best, oh, because I didn't give that, mention that. Okay, let us check in the best. So this is our actual table. So this is our actual table, and hist 20, another table.
Give the schema name so we don't need a confusion.
So let me okay, let us give our schema name so that they will be created in that schema. STINGSYN, right? So STINGSYN. Should I give codes for table name or not required? I don't think so. I think, let's see. So create trigger here also. Let me mention. And then I have changed the names on actual to. Okay, insert into actual to.
Insert into Stinson dot actual tool.
Okay.
And after insert on actual tools, because if we don't give schema name now, it will not find for which table it has to do the execution. So
should I give
maybe
codes also?
Yeah.
Okay, codes here, and should I give codes for trigger also name? Let me see. Okay, it is expecting. Okay, and what about here?
Yeah, first try that without codes also try it.
Yeah, let's try without codes and see. I think it is expecting, I think.
Because for procedure, I think we have to give the codes.
Okay, so.
And after insert on actual tool now. So actual tool we say table with the distinction schema. And insert into history that you have given a semicolon there.
Where?
In the end. I insert into history also you have to give the stings on schema. And this
Okay.
semicolon is needed.
We generally give, right? Let's see. Actual, this is our hist 22. So this is our hist 22.
No, no, not that.
So let's see. First, let me create
these
two tables and see. Okay. Okay, I think for actual 2, I don't have to give.
No, you have to give my name as things and caps. Try that.
I don't think that will make a difference.
Okay, no, first try that. Create the column table, first line. Execute that.
Yeah. Oh.
Yes.
Okay.
Because it is case sensitive.
Okay. What is the meaning of your name?
I don't know.
Oh, there will be some meaning, right?
Not Stingston. Everyone makes that mistake.
What did I name here? STINGSON.
You are given
STINGSON. Oh.
T.
Extra T. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So successfully created. Hist 22.
You have missed the double quotes.
Here.
Yeah.
Okay. So let me try again. Okay. So 2 tables are created. And now let us check our schema. Okay, this is our schema. And tables, let me refresh the tables. Right click is not happening properly. Okay, refresh. And now let me expand the tables. Okay, now 2 tables are created. And now let me STINGSON. This is our
Stinson, for every Stinson you have to give like caps.
Caps, yeah. So let us give caps. Yeah, let me copy and paste it. Yeah. And then okay, let me try to change for everything.
I think if you are giving double quotes, you have to mention like my name in a case sensitive way. If it is you are not using double quotes, you can give like things are in small letter or
lowercase or uppercase, it doesn't matter. Okay.
But sometimes it will cause issue because if my name has like 2 schemas, that time it will cause issue.
So now what we'll do, let's try to create this trigger and see. So
create
syntax create. Oh my God. Okay. Create, create. Okay. Could not find table or view actual 2 in schema.
Actual 2.
Actual 2 is the, oh, maybe
Actual
again,
12. You
case
have given
sensitive.
us actual. No,
Case
no, you have
sensitive.
given us you have given us actual 12, right? It is actual 2.
No, this is actual 2 only. Maybe case sensitive.
Yeah.
Actual
You can,
2.
yeah.
I think this is the problem. Actual 2, and here also it is a hist 22.
No, that is
And
fine.
here also
Actual,
I will make it as okay. So let's try to create again. Okay, now a trigger is created. So let us go here and check our trigger. So STIG trigger is created. Now insert into this table. So we are trying to make an entry change in the table. So when I do that, and now that means what happens whenever we make any change or insert into this actual 2, our hist 22 also, it will create an entry, right? So
your
let us,
recording session, right?
yeah, I am
Recording is
recording.
going now.
Yes, recording is going. So let me select star from my table name is actual 2.
You can drag and drop.
Yeah, that is better. And then let me also have select star from our hist 22. Right. So now let me execute these 2 statements and execute. So this is our actual table. Your order number is 10, quantity is 100. And in the result, so order number, quantity, and then date, timestamp, right? So April 10, 2000 and date and timestamp. So now let's try to make some change. So let us try to make some any change. Now we'll try to update our trigger. Update trigger. So again, I can copy all of this code. I will create another trigger called update trigger. I will copy all of this code. And then here I will say like.
But one doubt.
Mm.
In actual and history now, if we insert a value in actual, so the previous one should be moved to history. So the new one will be stay in the actual now. That's how the logic works, right?
Okay, let me do one thing. Let me insert. Let me insert for order number 10. Let me insert 500, right? So same order number I am trying to change. So now I will insert and then I will again display my tables. See what happens. So in your actual table, first you have ordered for quantity 100. And then you came up and you have ordered for quantity 500. So that means.
No, I am asking like. No, I am asking like go to the first result. Okay, the first value is like order 10, the quantity is 100. Consider that is the actual value present right now. That is the current value. So a new insert is coming, like the 10 500. So a new value has come. So the previous one, like the 10 and 100, should be moved to history 22, right?
It is already there, right, in the history.
But in actual also it is present.
Yeah, that's what. See, in our table, see, because see, everything is this is happening from our side, right? Customer doesn't know all these things. So customer doesn't know all these things. So first he placed for quantity 100, again he came and placed for quantity 500, right? So the purpose of this is whenever a new entry has been added, right? So here what happens is, like, for that quantity, let's say for some 10. So what is the latest one, that only they will consider. So for this order 10, the latest one is 500. So that only will be considered. But how it came to 500, that history we can see here. So on so and so date, so and so time, you ordered for quantity 100. Again on so and so date, so and so time, you ordered for quantity 500. So that means, so this is the final one.
Okay, got it.
Suppose if you give a different order, right? So let's say you order for 20, and then you have a different quantity 300. Everything will get recorded. So this is the actual, right? So this is your latest order, a different order 200 with quantity 300. But again, in the history table, we are capturing it, right? In the history table, we are capturing all your quantities. So for each and every customer, this log will be maintained. So even if the customer get confused, in the system, everything is getting recorded, right? So for your order 10, this is the latest quantity. So this is the updated quantity you have ordered.
Okay.
So that is the concept, right?
Yeah, I got it.
Yeah. So let's say we can also create update triggers. So let's try to create the update trigger. So create trigger, and we will name it this as UPD trigger, update trigger, UPD trigger, right? So after insert on this table, you can give after update on, after update on this table, and referencing new row as my new row, right? And in case of update, there will also be a new update, right? And then you can give old row, you can give old row as my new old, my old row, right? And then you will have your begin, and then you are trying to insert into so and so table, right? So here you will have here you will be changing, right? So my new row, your ORD,
referencing new row as my new row.
and then my old row also will be there. So my old row.
Now, can you tell that logic, like create trigger strings and after update on strings and actual to referencing?
So we are trying to create another trigger here, right? So we have named this trigger as update trigger. After update on, so that means whenever there is some update in this table, referencing new row as my new row, and we have added another field here called old row as my old row, right? And then what we are doing, we are trying to have our begin and end, and in between our begin and end, we are having insert into this table, right? And then we are having.
I am asking like this new row pointing to which one? This new row is pointing to the updated one, and the old row is pointing to the old value.
New row is new value, old value, right?
New row will be old value.
So a new sorry, new row will be updated value, old will be old value. Right?
Okay.
So insert into this table, and then here we are having values. So my new row, here you are supposed to give here my old row, not new, my old row ORD, and my old row QTY, quantity, and now, right? And suppose if you let's say you give some formula. If you want, you can give some formula also here, like star into -1. Suppose if you give like this, what it will do? It will minus that quantity and it will print. So let me have another insert. So again, insert into our history table, right? So here I will have my new row, and here I can have my old quantity and now. And I am ending our begin with end, right? So now what happens? Let's see. So we will execute our update trigger. So a new trigger has been created. Update trigger, right? Now I am trying to insert, right? So now let's execute our select statements and see. Oh, I didn't insert here. 1 second. So here what I will do, I will give 10 and then I will change it to 200. Now execute this and see what happens. And now again, let us execute our select statements. So here, so in our actual table, what it is doing is it has inserted the new one, right? So because we gave insert new and then our quantity 10 and we gave quantity 200. But in our result, let's see what happens. So in our result, also it has updated here, right? So that means now the latest updated value of order 10. What will be the latest updated value of order 10 according to this log?
If it's an insert statement, it will be 200. After, if it is an update trigger, it will be 199. No?
After update, it is 200, right?
Can you go to the query, please? Because it is
see, this one you just comment it out. Okay. This one you comment it.
-1 now. You are showing the update trigger now, or you are showing the insert trigger?
I am showing, see, update. See, whenever you create or insert or change, it comes under updates only, right?
Oh, okay.
Oh, here I think I have to give update trigger. What is it saying? Incorrect syntax. Line number 26 position. What is this?
Near end.
I don't see any problem.
For update statement is showing.
Line 1, column 26. Here it is. It's not taking. Or maybe they didn't give us permissions or what. Okay. Now, let me change the name and see.
Now it will again create now. So give like a.
It got another trigger got created. Now, let me do one thing. I will change this to some 800. And I am executing this insert now. And let us select and see what is happening here. So basically, only one concept we can summarize from triggers. So that is like, for example, in some cases, so there will be, last week also we got one requirement. Last week also we got a requirement saying that whenever they create the quantities for any purchase orders, they want to maintain one log. They want to create one report and they want to maintain the logs. So that kind of requirements we can very well easily do here with the help of triggers, right? So so whenever the PO, for example, take this as some purchase orders, right? So here purchase order 20 has been updated to 800. So now whenever you check it, so always it will look for the latest update. So for purchase order number 10, it will look for the latest update and it says quantity is 200. So it will always goes and take the latest one, because see, in actual scenarios, once they will place the order and again, like for example, if you take typical example of a house construction, I can give you this example.
I'm sorry to interfere. I'm still in doubt
Mm.
that you have created 2 triggers, and one is for the insert trigger that and that is fine, because any new insert is happening, so it will move to history table. That is fine. For the
Okay,
update trigger,
update. Okay,
you
let me do one
have given
thing.
like
Let us try update statement and see.
yeah, update statement. Yeah,
Let us give update statement. See, update our table.
things, yeah,
Update our table, right?
set
Set our values
already
are ORD. Set ORD. ORD equal to some 40. And then our QTY.
No, QTY is fine. Don't change QTY. Give the care condition.
Huh?
Don't change. Okay, give.
Give QTY also, right?
No.
And then you can give commit, right?
You have to give a where condition. No?
Where
Where ORD equal to 20.
okay, or shall we give ORD equal to 10?
No, give 40. Gives a different number. 40 will be fine.
See, if we give 40, it will create a new entry. See, update means what existing ones we want to update, right?
Now, so you have to give a where condition now. Update table set ORD equal to 40 and QTY equal to 900. Where ORD equal to 20 now. That's how query works, right? Am I wrong? Am I wrong?
Let's check. I was in the impression if we give order 10, that means order 10 will be updated by 900. Let us try. See why? Because I didn't actually I know all these concepts, but I didn't actually work in the projects. So
because for an update statement, we have to give a where condition. Like I have to update these two values, but
see,
where this ORD equal to 10.
see, I gave like this.
Okay, that'll be fine.
So
okay.
Update this table, set ORD equal to 40, quantity equal to 900, where ORD equal to 10, right?
Yeah.
So let us try this and see what happens. So now let us see what it has updated. Again, execute. Let's see what. Okay, wherever it has 10, it has updated everything. Right. So all the 10s are updated by 40. Right. So I think this makes more sense now for update trigger.
Okay, let me check.
Here in our actual, what happened? Oh, in our actual 10s are replaced by 40. But here the actual log is maintained here. So initially order is 10, right? But then later on they have modified that order to 40. So this is the actual log that we require.
1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3.
So all 10, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So again, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that means all the 10s has been modified to 40 in the log.
But how the 5th and 6th will be having the value of -100?
Wherever, why we are having minus is like, for 40, what is the value we give? 900, right? Quantity 900. Is that affecting here? 10, it took for 10, it has taken -100. Here 10, it has taken -50. Oh, okay. For the changed ones, it is showing minus. Whatever are the changed ones, for that it is showing minus. If you observe. Whatever are the updated ones, for that it is showing minus. Yeah. Here in our actual, it just replaced. That's it. It simply replaced. That's it. So that means this will have the this will only have the updated version.
Mm.
Our actual table is having only the updated version, but our history table is having all the log. So whenever
Okay.
anything is created or updated, everything is getting logged here, and which is very useful for the business actually.
Mm.
All right. So
Yeah.
yeah, tomorrow at what time you want to take the class?
Anytime you pick. I am free all the day.
You are free?
Not in the morning. Not in the morning. Till 2 o'clock or 3 o'clock. I am not available. I'll be in church.
Okay, no problem. So 9 p.m. is okay for you?
Yeah, fine.
9 p.m. we can have the class, right? So
Okay.
yeah, we will connect again tomorrow 9 p.m. and I will share the